Imagine being responsible for feeding an army of thousands. This was the reality for Alexander the Great, the undefeated conqueror who commanded the Macedonian army for 13 years. His success was not only due to the unyielding bravery of his soldiers, but also the strategic planning that ensured they were fed and ready for battle. But how exactly did Alexander manage this logistical feat? Rewind to the rule of Philip II, Alexander's father, who introduced the concept of the soldier's backpack during his military reforms. Each soldier was expected to carry their own food and supplies. This system was continued under Alexander, with a twist. Instead of flour, the soldiers' backpacks were filled with dried wheat, barley, and millet grains. Armed with small hand mills, they ground the grains and made them into bread. This was a practical solution, as grains, once dried, were both long-lasting and plentiful. These provisions, dried meat and fruits like dates and figs, formed the soldiers' staple diet. However, the soldiers' backpacks could only carry so much. They had to forage for food during their conquests, casting their nets into rivers for fresh fish, searching for shellfish, and hunting for fresh meat. When these resources were scarce, they relied heavily on fruits, particularly the dried ones carried in their backpacks. Timing was also key to Alexander's strategy. He planned new marches to coincide with the harvest season. A 30-day supply of rations was shipped by sea, timed to last about 10 days after the first destination city's harvest. This ensured a steady food and water supply until they conquered the city and replenished their supplies. Information was another vital part of Alexander's strategy. His extensive spy network gave him detailed knowledge of the city's terrain, landscape, and climate. This information was used to plan the army's journey. In rugged terrains, camels were used to carry baggage, as they could bear an additional 50 kilograms and survive for days without food or water. During winter, Alexander stationed his army near rivers and ports to ensure a smooth supply via sea transport and navigation. If supplies were short, he would divide his army to conserve resources. In conclusion, Alexander the Great didn't just conquer lands and cities, but mastered the art of keeping his army fed and ready for battle. His strategies, from using the soldier's backpack to using detailed geographical information, ensured his troops never fought on an empty stomach. Alexander's ability to feed his army was, without a doubt, a significant factor in his successful reign.